Hello?
Woo, I made it.
Yes. For a minute.
Sorry, babe. I did not mean to do that.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's always great to hear your voice. You know, they always say you might not be on time, but you're right on time,
I like that a lot. Yeah,
though. Oh, most
I like that
definitely.
one.
So how you been? How's your week been? How life been treating you? How's it been going?
Um, Pretty well, pretty well. Always takes a lot to, you know, especially a big move.
Mm-hmm.
I have been shuffling around at different places until I got exactly where my place is at. I had to switch stuff back and forth with like a storage unit, and
Mm-hmm.
depending on where I was staying, would have like various levels of connectivity. So
Mm-hmm.
it definitely made for some challenges, but for some uh, like that came out in a good way. Like found a new resource, a new
Mm-hmm.
approach that you know quick quickly was able to turn a situation around.
From the East Coast to the West Coast. So,
Yes,
and that
I did.
is complete. That what I can say was a complete like switch because you're going from literally one coast to the next. It was like how much of a culture shock was it when you got out to LA?
Well, it there was a lot that I was familiar with, like when I was a lot younger and like family and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm unfamiliar with, West Coast culture or whatever, but it was more like
Mm-hmm.
Pacific Northwest. And so um and so moving to California, the traffic and how everyone drives, and how that'll dictate people's schedule and where they will and won't go.
Mm-hmm.
Um and just seeing how everybody talks to one another. I mean, on the surface, on well, that's I mean, I kind of summed it up in the first few words there. It's on the surface, so it seems really pretty and pleasant, and everybody seems really pretty and pleasant. But you still see the eyes glaze over after about 3 seconds.
Yes,
Um, but instead of the conversation going on, it'll be like they'll just kind of look at you like, why haven't you stopped speaking yet? And somebody in Baltimore, New York would be like, so what's your point? Or what do you mean? What you mean? What you saying? It's something to move it along like that. And you can be direct in that kind of way. And it's not taken as aggression. It's not taken as a threat. It's taken an honesty, honestly. If somebody can't really speak to you in that kind of way, you sort of look at them sideways
Oh,
in
most
a,
definitely.
in a lot of circles of friends I've had.
Oh, most definitely. And I see that I'm looking at your timeline. This is funny.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen no one do this in a long time. You got the profile admission pictures up on your Twitter. And so I had to explain what everybody is. I want you to explain why you took these pictures like this so people can understand because this is old school. This is the shit that I'm talking about. This is how girls got in the business. You submitted, I think, 3 to 4 pictures. Basically, you standing completely to your hands side by side. You're not posing. Front,
Uh-huh.
side, back. And I used to send a doggy style. I used to have to do a doggy style pose just for the yeah. Explain to people why those pictures are important and why do porn producers want you to have those pictures.
Well, it's a good standard four that you'd go at. If I mean, I'm coming at it as a model, and so I'm just trying to
Mm-hmm.
in a nice way, but kind of like how you think about, a runway fashion thing. It's not It's not highly posed. It's not highly glamorized. It's not even highly set up.
No, it's just a picture.
From what I mean, yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be, this is what you're looking at from the side. I mean, have good posture, you know, wear some makeup, act like you have a good job, but but aside from that, you're really trying to give a bit of a raw view of what your best. You're not, you know, doing the thing where you hold your butt off to the side to make it look different than it looks. So
because mainly with the pictures,
it's important to match people up.
Yeah, because with basically in a nutshell, what the pictures is for, they know what you look like walking in the door, so they know what they're getting to a certain extent. Because
and also those are.
Say again. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, you just reminded me of another point. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Additionally, that's also something that's so quickly and easily done that those pictures aren't a set from the last time I was with a photographer. Those were. That's something you can, or it doesn't have to be from a photo set. Hopefully, you know, it'd be something you'd be able to get a photographer to get the nice setup and lighting and equipment and everything. But it's looking for something very recent, just like you said, how it's going to look when you walk in the door. So that's, you know, there's some of my more recent releases that have just come out that are months old, and my body type isn't exactly the same. It's not arguably, I think, that different, but it's enough different.
Oh yeah, I can see
it's a few sizes.
I can see you tighten up. You didn't hit the gym, some cardio.
I had to get in that pool. It's important that I swim. It's actually that's like lifestyle management for me. I have to be able to get into a pool and swim.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, hold on. I forgot I got to do these particulars. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone trying to start their own podcast career. All you got to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get yourself a profile and start podcasting today. Your host, Kavanaugh Southern Champ, aka the PornRapStar. I know what it is. Find my music, my porn, as well as my social media, all with one link. allmylinks.com/PornRapStar. Also, we have 2 sponsors. See, last time we had 1. This time we have 2 now. The first one, of course, is the Facebook of the LS community, lsworld.com. Go there today and get yourself a profile. Also, the second one is eroticismmagazine.com. Subscribe, get a monthly issue. Paperback form, or you can get it in digital, and it shows off the most sexiest ladies from around the world, not just the United States. I'm talking about everywhere. We're talking about from South America all the way to Europe. You get to see some beautiful hot ladies do some freaky shit. So go ahead and go to eroticismmagazine.com. Also, proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. You know what it is. Multiple podcasts giving you the Black experience. Plus, while you're there, go ahead and get some shopping done. You get the opportunity to pick wonderful products from over 500 Black-owned retailers and shops. So go to shopgwdistrict.com. Buy Black, support Black businesses, build a Black economy, so create generational wealth. And since the last time I talked to you, every Monday night on K97 FM, the official radio station for the adult of film world, Monday Night Smoke, every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I discuss the business of porn with a lovely lady or gent from the business. There's no telling. And I might even have a few surprises. Always K97 FM every Monday night for Monday Night Smoke. Now I'm going to be quiet and let this sexy lady who's returning introduce herself. Well, reintroduce herself.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Violette Blakk, and I am back on the West Coast at the moment. Not exactly in LA, but not very far away. And so it's not too hard for me to just get on the freeway and get on out there. Not a problem at all. It's been really cool. Switching coasts, getting readjusted. I've been back in Arizona some. I look forward to coming back to Las Vegas again. I kind of famously had just the biggest comedy of errors. My most recent Las Vegas trip, up to and including getting bit on the face by a spider and having to get rushed to the
God.
emergency room.
What the hell? How the fuck?
Yeah. Who knew? Well, that's how we found out I'm allergic to spiders.
Obviously.
So like yeah, right. I mean, it wasn't like some crazy poisonous spider that was there. It was just some regular one that to people not allergic to spiders, they just would have had, a little bump. And this is actually the second time right before a shoot I've had a spider bite like completely mess up my face. This one I didn't actually get to complete the shoot because it was too bad, and it looked like maybe I had it was on my forehead, and it looked like I had a sinus infection blow up or something.
So
it's just
where
insane.
the hell was y'all to where you ran into a spider?
Well, I mean, it's just a little spider. It was at the studio. It was at a really nice place.
Damn.
It was a nice place. Yeah. I mean, we were in a nice area in Austin. In like apartment shooting studio that is above like an affluent, shopping, urban living community. Like it wasn't like, oh my God, this is sketch. I'm afraid something's gonna happen to me here. It was totally fluke, but definitely right on my forehead.
I know you were like, this is some bullshit.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Because it was already after we thought we got through the bullshit. There was already bullshit prior. It was bullshit after bullshit. It was a bullshit storm. It was crazy.
Okay. So tell us what was the bullshit. Tell us all the bullshit that happened.
Oh no. Well, it's gonna. Okay, I'm almost self-conscious about it because you're like, God, does anything ever go right? But yes, I promise. I had a whole career before that where following through and logistics was important. So I'm not this giant flake that the sky is falling all on me all the time. But this shit was just bananas.
So shoot. So I mean, what was it? So go ahead and tell us what happened. Entertain the listeners.
Oh, I see. All right. So, I honestly, I love the setup that he was explaining. I'm gonna leave the name of the producer out of it just for the sake of there's half recorded and stuff. And we don't know. So we'll just say he's a producer.
Yes, this is not for subscribers. So this is the world going to hear this. We'll do episode for subscribers another day. But go ahead.
Right. So he has this great idea for the scene, and it's really going to be well put together with like some quick backstory flashes, so out in public getting to do things, etc. So the first night I am out in that nice little affluent outdoor like shopping and dining area, and we're having a great time. We go to different clubs. She records me like laughing and dancing and like we're on a date, because that's going to be the cuts of like the different things of like remembering me on a date or something. And I'm with his production assistant. Isn't enough. That's not the right term for her. She does a lot. But he's the company, and she's like a lot of the admin and all the rest, I guess, and shoots. But anyway, we were out that night, got those shots, went back, and I stayed at again this nice studio, and I woke up in the morning with my face exploded, and so we went to the emergency room. And the first thing they did was give me a big shot of antibiotics, because it looked like what it looked like had happened, because it would have tied into what had just happened. The first leg of the trip was completely messed up because I ended up getting a sinus infection
Ooh.
That didn't seem like one. It didn't look like one. I wouldn't have recognized it. I thought I had COVID. I
Okay.
had a high fever, and it wasn't coughing really or shortness of breath, but it was like all the other things that was going along with it. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
or the flu or something like that. It felt like that, and come to find out that that was a sinus infection. And then of course for sinus infection they give you a long course of antibiotics, and I don't know if you know too much about how women's bodies operate when having to take a course of antibiotics, but sometimes there's
It
just
throws it
not enough you
off.
can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it throws everything off, and
Throws it
it's
off.
not like just for your regular day hanging out. Our job is some intense work out of the area. So
Mm-hmm.
so it just and coupled with me, part of my sexy superpower is sometimes a detriment, and I'm so flexible because I have this. Thank you. I actually have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that like kids, when they'll do like I'm double jointed tricks or something when they're growing up, but for some people, it's not everybody, it's like a spectrum. It gets worse and painful and stuff. And that's honestly why I have to swim so much. So for me, I'm cool, I'm straight, I'm not hurting as long as I'm staying
Mm-hmm.
active. And that's another reason
See,
why I
it's
love this job.
crazy how we have like pains and aches, and people don't realize we have pains and aches and the stuff that we have to
Mm-hmm.
deal with, and on a physical, and then we have to go do shoots where we have to be flexible and physical. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right,
it's been time I to
right.
pull the muscle called cramps. Uh,
Yeah, well, my joints are extra stretchy, but my skin is also extra delicate, and so it tears. I bruise easier, and if I
yeah.
bruise easier on the outside, I bruise easier on the inside, and stuff tears worse on the inside. And then you can't throwing your balance off on top of that. That's a recipe for
Mm-hmm.
disaster. That's like, I don't, yeah, that's bad. You don't want
Mm.
that. So of course I have to keep, and I tried to be so ahead of time about scheduling everything. So I had all these weeks scheduled out, and
Mm-hmm.
I had to uh, either reschedule, or depending on how, like, because not everybody. I was in Las Vegas for 30 days.
Ooh.
And while I got some great shoots in those days. I don't want to act like nothing really good came out of it. One of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite shoots, that's on my own site that I own, that I did with Will Tillie, was one of
Yeah,
the first ones I got to do. And
that shit
yeah,
look
I love that
very
scene. I love that
nice.
out on
That
the
shit was nice.
balcony, and it's just so, and we have a really great chemistry because Will's just a really good guy.
Yeah, yeah, you can see it. You can see it through the camera. You know, pretty
Yeah.
is people don't realize that viewers can see the energy through the camera, of the
Mhm.
chemistry with the, you know what I'm saying, with between the talents. So like
Right.
you can tell which talent that you enjoyed the most. You can tell if he enjoyed you. You know what I'm saying? If you can tell if y'all
Uh-huh.
two won't get along. You know, a lot of people don't realize chemistry with this business
Yeah.
is very important.
Yeah. It is very important to keep a good and positive type of vibe, and a lot of it's crazy the different things that can kind of make it drop. And obviously
Mm-hmm.
we're all people that are putting our bodies on display and having sex with one another and trying to make a living by promoting ourselves, so we might be a little hypersensitive about some stuff. um
Yeah, because
but
for what you were telling me about what you was going through, yeah, you was pretty hypersensitive. God. She,
oh
you had allergic, you had a sinus infection. Oh my God, it's just
I yeah, I can't. It's well, it's part of, it's again like my superpowers. When you say hyper, I literally am hypersensitive. Like I have overreactive reactions that go
mhm,
like medic. You can, doctors time that. That's on a
mhm,
chart somewhere. Um, but that's all tied into the condition. But obviously, it's something that I know about me, but not everybody else knows about me. And we have such an
mhm.
intimate business, but we're still trying to make a really good product. And so there's so
Yeah.
many different levels of trying to make it work. And depending on how deep you are into, you know, who you're working with, that's in multiple areas. If it's not just a content link shoot and you don't even have another cameraman there, there might be, you know, 5, 6 other people you need to get all along in harmony. And now I'm like having flashbacks to a previous career in management.
Oh God, managing people is the hardest thing. I ain't even going front, because it was the old saying. The old man, he said the hardest thing is to make a bunch of lazy motherfuckers work. So
yeah, it's especially if you're a carer trying hard to make other people care. But you know, I mean, you have to find a nuanced approach. It was something that for me, working with the people, especially the my speaker just shut off. Working with the people that were employees weren't necessarily too much of an issue, as long as we could have a general understanding that we were on the same page, on the same goal. So it's like, you know, if it's in a situation where you're like, we're trying to make the machine run, I'm not saying you don't matter and you're a no-name cog. I'm saying that without you, this whole thing is broken. And everybody else is clamoring around trying to, you know, make what needs 5 parts work with, you know, 4 or 3. And so when you try to get that dynamic to work with people, to get people to believe in what you're doing and that you're trying to work with and for them, then I think I was very much a camp counselor kind of manager. That was my management style. Positive reinforcement and stuff
so
like
you
that.
can imagine. I would love working under. She's always friendly, coming in looking all cute.
Yeah.
Give me something to look at in the morning and someone to talk to. Nothing wrong with that.
I did not mind trying to, you know, keep my style up. Not gonna lie. It's kind of hard when you're doing management. You don't get the same resources. You don't have the ceiling isn't as high.
Oh no. Especially on the company you with. Yeah.
Exactly. And mine, you know, my area, and I'm not, you can actually just very intentionally created another Instagram page, which is at the rest of Violette Blakk, and is kind of like what it sounds. So especially with Instagram, kind of mixing in I didn't want the elements of my personality missing. But I mean, sometimes you're looking for a thing and sometimes you're looking for something else. And it doesn't mean you don't want to not, but I just like I separated it out. So you can be like, when you want to engage with this part, that's great. When you just want to be sexy, you have Violette_Blakk, where I've always been. But that's some of the stuff. You'll see how I cook and bake in there. And so my background was in like restaurant before, prior career. But
I'm on the page now looking. Yes, I see you can throw down the kitchen. I see you got some skills. Yeah, because I finally did make a IG, well, for the podcast, which is, you know, smoke STO. And it feels good that I have yet to be flagged on IG. It feels good that because my old IGs within a month or even 2 weeks I'll be flagged. So, but because I guess it's the audio,
like the restriction or like taken down.
The restriction, and they probably took the thing down, and then probably in like 6 months I lost the IG account. Because, you know, I mean, but it was like, even though the pictures probably wasn't as bad compared to what you would see, it's just, I know how IG works. So it's kind of like, and Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just listening and you're giving me ideas. So I'm taking big breaths, but I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, because because with IG, because like I said, with IG, it's kind of important to the business that we do.
Hmm.
Especially if like we're trying to expand outside the business, like you know what I'm saying, like you're showing your cooking skills. I see you got a YouTube channel, so it wouldn't surprise me that you eventually do cook videos or what have you. You know, period.
Uh,
Um,
Actually, that'll
but
probably have more to do with my like singing and poetry and that type of
mhm.
angle. But there's
So
it'll be more.
so showing them that side of you, do you think it would endear you to the fans even more because it kind of even makes you more humanized?
It's a little, I mean, a little bit of the goal is to have a place to go for that. Exactly, yes. You don't have to dig through or be like
Mhm.
finding it all over, but also not that's not something hiding in a personal Instagram. I'm hoping nobody connects the two. I'm like, this is the
Mhm.
rest of Violet Blakk. There is no she's just a slut. There's it's great. That's a great headspace to be in if you're having that
Mhm.
type of interaction. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not
Mhm.
trying to down that at all. But when you're
Not every
talking
hour of the
about
day with the porn
afterward,
stars.
because
Every
everybody knows, even in the middle of doing it, there's afterwards, there's aftercare,
yeah,
there's
yes,
after, because
yeah,
we're whole people.
yeah. Because like I said, because it, I always talk about this. We have to get into a certain mind state before we even get in front of the camera. Because it's not the same as just
Right.
us fucking. It's not the equivalent. That's why you have the content creators, you have the porn stars. The porn stars, we have to mentally be prepped to walk into that camera, in front of that camera, because of things that we have to take into account. Plus, we really give a fuck about what we look like on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're
So
trying to
it's
make a great
like,
product. I love
yeah,
porn. I want it to look great.
yeah, yeah. And what I see, your porn look very great. You know, so because even to the talent that you work with and everything. Now, back to the move to LA. Did the move to LA, was it more of for your career or it was just you want to change of pace? What was the main function of why you wanted to move to LA? Because that's a big move. It's one thing to go there to work, it's another thing to go live.
It is, isn't it? Life's funny
Yeah.
how it works out. So, yeah, I know I say it like it's so loaded. Um, no, it wasn't for my career. I wouldn't have thought
Mhm.
making a move to LA, the speed I was operating at and operating without an agent, I wouldn't have thought that was a very prudent move. I That wasn't something that I was at right at the moment, but
Mhm.
life has a funny way of working out. Um,
Mhm.
a big part and a really big connection that I had in Baltimore was my ex, who our relationship ended. Um, our relationship ended, and the in a conversation with like really close friends. This is somebody I'm saying has known me since I was 12, close friends, and knows what I do
Okay.
now, close friends. Um, is is telling me that I need to come back to, come back out west. I've done my time. I've done 20 years on the East Coast. Um, and and if obviously it's not going to work out with the situation that I was in. And if I really want a fresh start, that would be the and I'm talking about this in a past tense too. So,
Mhm.
I mean, you'll see where that's to tell you where the story's going. Um,
Mhm.
he uh, he was a good friend of mine all through high school, very close. Not somebody I was worried about trying to partner up with me. He's not even attracted to women, so I mean that much. Not even worried about it.
Mhm.
But he's not somebody I've lived with. And I don't think we took that into account. And so sometimes your tolerance of your stress level and other people in your living space, coupled with like, right, yeah, no, it's more complicated. It can't be as simple as that, because I wouldn't have brought myself out to LA, but he felt really, really strange having me there and was having a really hard time and really needed me out of his space. And so he told me so.
Oh God!
And
Damn.
yeah. I wasn't even 2 weeks, man. I was like, I'd already been gone on a shoot. I'm about to leave again for a week. You have, whew, you, sir. I mean, I want to. So that's the thing with I'm saying people are like that. So that's obviously a little bit of a very personal story, but that is how I ended up making such what seems like a out there leap so quickly. It was really coming from much more of a personal place, and then needing to be resourceful beyond that. I mean, I sold an entire apartment's worth of everything I own. There wasn't going
So
back
you
to Baltimore.
completely
that
over.
was all gone. Oh
So
yeah,
you
no, yeah,
basically completely started completely over.
Yep, took a whole big vision quest across the country. Went back up through my home state. And it was a lot, a whole lot. And then a new beginning after new beginning, after finding a new beginning. But the happy end to the story now is I really love the super cute studio apartment that I'm in. And I get to like tend to garden all the time, which is so up my alley. I like growing things. And because of the convenience of the setup, I'm in a great position to get to some major places to do content, which is for me very, very important. The whole 1 month long Vegas trip was on a mission to amass a whole bunch of content to try to launch my site. So I've been trying to get back into a position where I can amass a bunch of content again, and that's where I'm at.
Now, when you moved to the West Coast, did you find it easier to find male talent to work with versus when you was on the East Coast?
A little bit, yes, but purely because of location. Baltimore
I figured that
versus LA. I mean, I love Baltimore, but it's not like there's a plethora of people in the industry, and East Coast is the first coast, and it's got an older mentality, even toward the whole industry. I was shocked to see how I can't think of the lack of size to the industry, with it being an entertainment industry missing out of New York City. I assumed it would be, I mean, I out of high school went to New York City to go be on Broadway. I went to musical theater conservatory. So I wasn't, that didn't work out. I was never on Broadway.
With the East Coast, really porn was spread out, while on the West Coast consolidated. You feel what I'm saying?
It's right, I think so. But I think there's burgeoning like communities in like Seattle and stuff like that really picking up. But yeah, you're right. East Coast is like spread out, and
because you had your New York set. Yeah, you had your New York set to Florida, because that's all together. Orlando, all that. Atlanta just really started to get popping on the adult film side of things. So, and of course, Chicago's trying to catch up, but it is what it is about the Midwest. But really, when porn moved to the West Coast, it was West Coast.
Is the biggest.
No, what you say? What the stigma? Wait a second.
Oh, I was saying they're just fighting stigma. That was
pretty much. Yeah, but the thing of it is that that's where you at is more opportunity, because that's where porn pretty much is at. Because between that and Vegas, LA and Vegas, and plus everybody comes out there. So it's like, it's same thing if someone lived in New York. How can you not catch talent? everybody goes to the motherfucker. So you kind of can't help but to
Right.
grade the talent, what have you, you know, period. And so how
Now,
many,
sorry.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead, babe.
I was going to say a a big difference that I had noticed between East Coast, West Coast, as far as dealing with it for the talent, like you said, there's a lot of it here, but when it comes to like moving through amateur or being independent without agent representation,
Yeah.
that's where things seem to have a much bigger mystery. I feel like I'm seeing it a little bit more now. Like Kieran from Brazzers
Yeah.
tweeted out that the post you're asking that you were talking about in the first place with the standard 4 shots that I put.
Yeah.
You know, usually it's the agents have a list of the people that do booking, and so the people with the agencies get to
Mm-hmm.
the emails that get to the jobs. And your way to figure out how to get access to that person who looks at you to see do they not, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
work, you know, honestly kind of around or past the gatekeepers. That sounds, I don't mean that mean. There's agents are
No, you saying it.
amazing for a lot of reasons, and I'm not trying to bash them. I just don't have
No,
one
but
for
not because 100. I asked a lady, and this is real shit. I asked Kelly Richards this question. I
Mhm.
said, if they had OnlyFans back when you was doing porn in the 80s, would you girls had branched off and became content creators, or well, I hate using the term content creator. I swear to God, I do. Um,
Mhm.
branched out to do your own shit. They said no, they wouldn't have done it because it would have cut out the agents, it would have cut out the managers and the producers because them the people that give you the best and better paid opportunities. So,
Right. And
like,
well, I mean, and that's part of what makes, I apologize.
no, go ahead, go ahead. This is about you.
I, I, I was about, I was saying that's part of what's making it's part of enjoying just performance as the job, because you can pick
Mhm,
just that. You can't just
mhm.
like, hey, every one of us is a business owner now. No, not everybody wants to be a fucking business owner. Some people want to be models. Fuck. Let them go do a great job
Yeah,
on set, get paid, and go home, and that's it.
yeah.
And I mean, talking about residuals is a whole other conversation as
Mhm,
far as compensation, but as far as the job itself, I don't think it should be even talked as less than. It almost feels like there's now hyper celebration of like this porn star is better than this porn star because look, this one's the businesswoman.
mhm.
And you're
Well,
like, they're both tremendous, they're both amazing, they just both maybe do a little bit different things.
well, see, but I think the reason why is because of that, because the game has changed to where it's about the porn. I always say this: the amateurs is now dictated how porn is being done, and
I think you're right. I think they flipped the script.
yeah, and to the point that you have celebrities screaming the name of OnlyFans girls, but 10 or 5 years ago they were screaming the name of porn stars. You feel what I'm coming from?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the reason why they put so much stock in it because this past year made girls pay stock into, yeah, I'm a porn star because I got 200 subscribers and I film my own shit, but you're not a star. You feel what I'm coming from?
Mhm.
Because even to the point that
Yeah, well, I
part
mean,
of
it's
it,
a whole different element. What you're doing is great. It's working with similar mediums, but it's not the same. You're not, you
no.
know, like imagine if I haven't done full production, but I'm aware of what full production is. They're making what would be $1 million movies with less budget and shooting for hours. This all the
Mm-hmm.
same people are on set with your best boy grip and all that shit. Um,
Which brings up the
it's a whole
question,
huge industry.
yeah. Like for example, because I asked somebody one time, I said, "Are you content creator? Are you a porn star?" And they asked me, "Well, what makes a porn star? What makes content creator?" I use you as an example. The way that you shoot is a big production. You get what I'm coming from? That what makes the difference on a shooting level. Because if majority of your stuff is shot with a cell phone, I can't call you a porn star. I can't put you on that level because you're not. I can't call you a stunt man. You ain't doing the same stunts that stunt man's doing. You feel what I'm saying? I can't call you.
I get that, but I think I lean hard into the amateur. I've never been on somebody's major production set.
Nah, okay, then it like this. It's something that someone said. If you don't want to call yourself a porn star, which is funny because people, for some apparent reason, people are ashamed to call themselves that, even though they are. You establish talent. Either way, you're a porn star. You don't have to work with. Understand one thing that did change is you don't have to work with the major companies to be a porn star. What categorize you that is who you have worked with, and the production that you're putting out in turn makes you a porn star. You feel where I'm coming from? You work with William Tillie.
I can appreciate that. And that benefits me, so thank you.
No, that how I was. Let me explain this to you. This is how it was told to me. Okay, I'm gonna break it down to you. This guy from Edge Crit, he called a lot of flack, but a lot of people agreed with him. And before it was OnlyFans girls, we called them porn girls. You had porn stars and porn girls. Porn girls, they shot just to get paid and just to shoot. 9 out of 10 they were escorts, and they use porn to boost their escorting. Porn stars pursue the career. They get a site. They do professional shoots, professional looking pics. They shoot as if they're on a professional set, even though, yeah, it's amateur still. You still shooting, because I shot like it was a professional set for mine. I don't know if you ever seen any of mine. Very rare you see some amateur looking shit. No, I didn't play that. Period.
Right.
Plus,
I did some research.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for research. As you can see, I was a pretty decent male talent in my time. But the point being is that, so you threw me off saying something about my past. But anyway, it's long because I wish I could have worked with you. But the thing of it is that
would have been great.
Yes, it would have. It would have been some fire. I would have had some scenes in mind for you, just off the top of the dome. But let me get to my point. So, but like I said, it's the way that you shoot and the way that you conduct yourself. You feel me? And it's more evident today than it was back then, because still back then, the porn girls still had and had to go get the paid gigs. You feel me? In order for them to have a career. Period.
Right.
Actually, the old school producers would say you doing it the right way because you ain't overshot. And what overshot means is you came in year one. Let's say you came back in my day. You came in year one. Guarantee is the way you look, how you get down, you would have shot with every fucking company. But then guess what? Year two, you ain't getting no calls because you've been shot with every fucking damn company.
Yeah, they've got 30 scenes with you.
Yeah. And so actually they encouraged back then for girls to do what they're doing now. Girls didn't even want to do that. They didn't want to get a site. They were able to do the paid gig and that's it. It was very few. Actually, really was the BBWs that really want to do the sites. You had some girls that were smaller, whatever, that were down for that. But for the most part, they were just trying to get paid gigs. Now it's opposite. So
it gives you control over your future.
Yeah, because content is king. It's just like even when I managed girls and they was like, get any money from my site, I said, no, I'm going to take that scene and make money on my site. And you're going to make money on yours. What the fuck I'm going to do with 25%? Well, I can take that scene and make 100. Out of here. Bye. That's why I gave you a site.
Right, exactly.
Have fun. But shoot, so since you've been to LA, because how long you been out there now?
Wow. Okay. I got out here at the end of September. So I was here, late September, I got to LA, and then That's been it. But there's been a decent amount of travel actually out. So I've
Okay.
been to mostly going to like the Phoenix area. I've been there a couple
Mm-hmm.
times. And I shot for Private Society while I was here too, and that's
Oh.
I love shooting for them. I love Dave. Um, they're awesome. So
Tell us about that shooting. Who did you work with and how did it go?
ooh, okay. Well, I got to meet Corlin, who is a unstoppable force of a woman,
Okay.
who's done a million things, and she'll tell you about them. She has no problem just telling you her story, which is great because it's really enthralling. It's inspiring. She's inspiring to a lot of people. She does a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one kind of favorite thing is she does a lot of like gilf scenes kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and something where she's uh really I mean, I know on that element, not
To
trying
my
to lean into the taboo, but more into the
grandmommy.
positivity of, yeah, well, no, embracing that label on her age.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gilf. Yeah.
she's
Grandma I like to
her
fuck.
look is, yeah, exactly, but she's not they're not trying to do like a matronly, marmy like kind of thing. She's like sexy as hell. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, we got to shoot a scene together with Jovan Jordan, and then I had another scene with him as well.
Oh.
Big fan of his. That was in our we'd worked together before at Private
Mm-hmm.
Society. And he's
Mm-hmm.
just a chill as fuck dude. I know he's in the LA area, so hopefully we'll get a chance
Yeah, I'm glad he's still working,
to.
man, because I mean, we had a rough go of it a couple years back dealing with Lady Falcone and the N-word and all that shit. So I'm glad he's still thumping and stuff. So how is it? I mean, how is it working with him or what have you and stuff? Because I mean, especially him being a legend and well-known porn star in the business.
Yes. Well, he is. Uh, he knows he knows himself very well and is very solid in how he conducts himself, which is immediately um, comforting in the scene because you feel like somebody like it's not going to be the possibility of going out of control. Especially, I mean, he's a really big guy
Mm-hmm.
with a
Yeah,
big
he's
dick.
tall.
So that
Yeah.
can be really it can be almost it's like intimidating. It's exciting, but it's a little
Mm-hmm.
scary too if you're thinking it might go really hard at some point. And so he
Mm-hmm.
has that, like, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing, air to him,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. Strong silent type, um, but not silent and not communicative.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Talks about boundaries, very professional, but still very chill, as
Mm-hmm.
far as a demeanor. And then in the scene, for me, just really easy to have chemistry with.
Mm.
So it was there's our we shot in front of a fire, but that wasn't the only fire. That it was we were very
Oh.
small. It was really,
You
really,
say y'all
it was
on
a
your
really
own?
hot scene. I really liked working with him.
No doubt. So shoot. So who else you ain't worked with over the time that since you made your move? Cause it seemed like your workload has picked up since you moved to the West Coast too.
Well, some of it has been just my opportunity to release what I had, because I did
Right.
a big shooting event right before the move happened. And so there was like me having stuff and not being able to go through the whole process of putting it out. If I
Mm-hmm.
had enough time to edit it somewhere, I'd then be traveling and not be able to, upload in post because I'm, in rural wherever.
Yeah.
So, so that's why, I mean, I'm releasing content now where I'm literally 20 pounds heavier than I
Mm-hmm.
am currently. Um, which I'm not trying to knock myself down. I got I was thicker and then got fitter as I had to get really into the gym and the pool to like manage the condition I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I miss my curves.
So I mean,
The
but you
men I was
still
with
got them, babe.
appreciated my curves and I
It's
like
just
them.
you still got your curve. They just a little more tightened up. That's all. Is
Yeah,
because the
I
thing
don't get
is,
uncurvy. It just doesn't happen.
yeah. Because see, the thing of it is that with you, it's not as noticeable. You know what I'm saying? But so much if it's even noticeable, or even if the dudes really give a shit, they don't really give a fuck. It's you pretty. We don't give a
My
fuck.
guess is just size of the ass. I'm gonna try to keep doing squats.
and
It's more
and
just so
I
I
see.
like what I see. I'm an aesthetics person. I want it to look pretty.
Well, I mean,
But I
that heart
mean,
shape with that
I,
doggy style. So I mean, you got that banging anyway. Yeah, so you got to
hey,
arch that back
I'm trying to
strong.
use. Yep, I have a nice big bouncy ball I like to practice on.
Yeah, I can see you practice very well.
Thanks. Yeah, I know. You know, it's hard when you're single and you have a strict rule of only working with or only. I mean, it's you can't navigate
Mhm.
dating while you're in the
Well, I mean,
adult
I would
industry
think
with
I would.
everybody.
Well, being a
So
porn star is kind of like your dating scene is going to be a little bit more difficult because you also got to keep in mind that you're a porn star. Not, and I'm not talking about the shame part of it because nowadays
yeah, the
it's
health.
becoming
I'm
more
talking about health
normalized.
right now.
The health part of it, yeah, because you got to be able to keep working,
Yeah,
and that what
exactly.
people don't, and that's once again content creator versus the porn star. We have to take that test, and if a TTS comes
Mhm.
up, even if it's something that you get rid of, you gonna have a hard
Mhm.
time getting past it. Some people don't. There's some people that have, but not everybody. Because it's
Yeah.
about that
Well,
level of trust.
right, right. And I mean, thankfully, I'm a big supporter of and a person who takes PrEP. I don't know if you've talked about that before, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the prophylactic for HIV. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like a daily, like taking birth control. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have to already be HIV negative, but taking that, it's like
Mm-hmm.
taking a preventative antiviral. You
Yes.
can't get transmitted.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Which with that one being for me the most scary one, I'm like, sweet, don't got to worry about that. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, but like I
But
said, it kind of makes sense because now they got medicine that makes it undetectable when the test. So it only makes sense to make something where
mhm,
you can't pass it. So and you can't catch it. So, but
right,
like I
right.
said, with now also with that too, I think what it's on the West Coast. It is on the East Coast.
Yeah, well, because you don't have to pay to have it shipped anywhere. So I can go
Yeah.
to TTS. And I just have to, drive into the valley and yay. Um, but
Which makes
the
because
I try not to sometimes I see people I know exactly who they are and I try to hide I have too expressive of a face and I'm like, oh God, I know I just gave that. Like, oh my God, I know who you are. Look. Oh
yeah, I know you can
my
bump
God.
into like some big names too.
In LA,
I'm talking
yeah,
about fucking
shit.
you. I want to fuck you on
Right.
camera.
No, oh my God. Well, there's already been some of the dream ones of like this can't be real. I've had to reality check over and over and over
Mm,
again. One of them came early too,
mm,
early. I can't believe,
mm.
well, not, I mean, I'm really happy that I was able to coordinate linking with Isaiah Maxwell when I was in Las Vegas on my
Oh.
very first trip to Las Vegas, which was like
And what kind of
I mean, I was
scene?
just a few months into the trip. Huh?
What kind of scene? What kind of scene did
Uh,
y'all shoot?
like sex tape hookup.
Oh,
Um,
okay then. Okay then.
so it was I mean, to
It
me,
was
the
that good,
scene
huh?
started in my head as I was driving up to it. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was coming up to the lift and he walked out to meet me outside and he wasn't wearing a shirt. And I was like, everybody can see your tattoo. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody can tell this is the beginning of a porn. Oh my God. Because again, I was also so new and so like starstruck.
Oh God. That's just funny as hell. You probably rolled up and your pussy was wet before you even got out the car.
In my head, I was having in my head what sounded like a monologue. I was like, stop piecing together a scene from Blacked right now. This is crazy. And as we're driving, I'm like, I never thought this day would come. I remember the very first time that I knew who Isaiah Maxwell was. It was a scene, and I was able to recognize his tattoo. I found him again, and I'm like, how is this going in my head right now? He's driving up. I'm so nervous. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna die. I can't believe we're about to have sex. But I calmed down, and that's what a fangirl freak out is like.
And you put it on his ass too. I'm pretty sure. You put your best moves.
I tried. It went well. I feel like we're still in touch. Our team's playing the same division. He's a Cleveland fan. I'm obviously Baltimore Ravens, so he's not happy with me right now.
I'm pretty sure,
but he'll make me pay. I hope.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna take it out on you next time he see you or what have you.
I mean, I'm saying, and I'm hoping.
So now you touched on something earlier. Do you have an agent now?
Not yet. I am not opposed to having an agent being in this area, though. It would just it's something that I haven't honestly marketed myself
go
toward.
about even getting an agent? Because
you approach the agents and like, you want me? I think. I'm not sure.
Pretty much
when I first launched my profile on Sexy Jobs, I had a lot of agents in my inbox when I was like brand new. And one of the first lessons I learned the hard way was that the idea behind the standard 4 that you were talking about, I was sticking a little too hard on the rawness of it and not making it as polished as it needed to be. So I feel like that maybe affected, maybe not. I don't know. But not a single one of them said, "Hey, I'd like you to be my client."
Oh no, because I'm just gonna give you a hint, babe. For the 5 things you say a woman to say fuck a man, it takes a half of one for us to say fuck you. And we won't even tell you that we say fuck you. Because men in this business is more fickle than the women, especially the guys on top and producers and directors, because it's when you're dealing with big budget, you're dealing with big money. And when you're dealing with big money, they're gonna be way more particular. Because it's a certain standard that they are accustomed to having and stick to. The only time they ever switch from that standard is when they're throwing shit against the wall when they ain't making money.
Right. So. And I mean, in some elements, I get that. I think the dangerous line that you always kind of see when it gets toward the end of when people are having a taste for a certain look is the oversaturation of a certain look. You're not being organic to the fact that people have pretty wide variety of tastes. And so you could have a really big income as long as you just focused on doing a really great job of that. And you're seeing that now. You're seeing trans porn in I think Brazzers finally shot one. And that type of thing, where it used to be, there's male talents in the industry that were ostracized and maybe still might be by a lot of other male talents for working with trans women. And now that's becoming what some might even call a bandwagon. But I mean, I don't care. I don't care why they're on the cause. Jump on the cause.
Yeah. I'm saying I take the win where I can get it. Yeah, I'll take the win where I can get it.
Amen.
Because like I said, to me, even with an agent, to me, you're in a position where I don't think you necessarily need one. It helps somewhat, but not necessarily need one. Because like I said, really a lot of these producers, especially for the ones that you're dealing with on the level, they probably gonna want to just talk to you directly. And usually because the guys that you're working with, some of them guys are still working with some of those. They'll probably bring you along for a shoot because that's how some of them girls get work anyway. You know, period.
Mhm.
They bring them to. They're like, look, I got this girl I want to check out. He checks you out. Oh, this, that, and the third. You know, period. Because it's kind of like,
Mhm.
how can I put this? They try to get girls that don't have their own shit yet because now you're a competitor in some ways to them. Because I mean, because let's keep it 100. If you shot for Brazier, right?
Uh-huh.
All the
Uh-huh.
guys do is gonna go
I
and
say that again.
let's say if you shot for Brazier, a couple
Uh-huh.
scenes, they're gonna Google your name and then guess what? You taking that you taking some of that traffic. See, that's why I said it's kind of
Mhm.
like girls don't need to shoot with mainstream Hollywood no more to be a straight up porn star and to make money in the business. It's really just exposure more
Right.
than
You can
anything
even, I mean,
else.
if you can afford it, you can do the production.
Yeah, because to be honest with
All of it.
you, yeah, trust me, the big companies when OnlyFans said they're gonna kick out sex workers, trust me, the big companies was having a party the next day. They huge party. They
Mhm.
was partying. They went to the club and
Yeah.
everything. It was popping bottles. Thank you, OnlyFans, because OnlyFans and the independent porn star, as I like to call it, and of course the content
Mhm.
creators hurt their business because people didn't. I can see my favorite porn star on her shit, you know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be honest with you, yeah. So it's kind of like, to me, it's like it's good to get paid gigs, but I always say this: never let the industry have more content of you that you don't have of yourself.
I think that is a good philosophy and matching a lot of what I've been
Yeah,
trying to do. It's just
yeah.
um
Because
not it's just, but
because
sometimes
just
cash flow.
look, because people don't realize it's like they were talking about that shit back in 2006, and then when I met Cherokee the ass, she said it.
Uh-huh.
It was funny as fuck to hear her say this shit. She said, "I wish I'd known to have my own site back then." She said that why I was jealous of Pinky because Pinky already had her own shit. She was like, if she
Yeah.
go ahead,
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That was yeah.
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 Yeah, saying she was just saying she wish she had her own shit or what have you. So I tell females to have a good medium of it. If you're able to get the paid work, that's great. If not, the next best thing is get the guys that's getting the paid work because they're being watched, and if they see you, boom. So, and I see you
Yeah,
getting the
no, this
name.
my favorite thing about this mission, low key, is to like knock down my own porn star hit list. This is a goddamn fantasy. Are you
Oh
kidding?
my goodness.
And they're going
So
on my
so
site just because I can also go on their site. We're having such a good time. And I'm fucking Isaiah Maxwell, Big Trey, Alex Mack, fucking
yeah,
Louis
I like the scene that you did with AJ. What is AJ Fresh? What's his name? Um,
yes, AJ Fresh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
He's
that shit
cool.
was fire, yo. The golden sun goddess. I'm just leaving by curious to you people. Tell me about this scene, yo. This shit was kind of how'd y'all come up with this?
Oh, he's creative genius behind that. He was just he'll honestly I don't know if he does this with everybody. That was our first time collabing. We actually have another one that I'll be releasing soon that is with him and another, he calls himself a hobbyist. So that say AJ's more in like the porn industry. Well, he's definitely in the
Mm-hmm.
porn industry and the other guy's not as much, that's right. But it's a boy girl scene where it's I'm like a maid that's part of the agreement of what my job is like full
Mm-hmm.
service. And I'm so like it's fun and it's funny because it's definitely engaged, but I'm definitely like very concerned about doing my job, which at
Mm-hmm.
sometimes is sex, but also I'm really concerned about the dust.
Yeah. Yeah.
All while everything's happening. We have a lot of fun. It's honestly, I thought that scene went really great too. So I'm excited to drop that one.
Yeah, because I was taking a look at it earlier. I said, okay, that is interesting. She got the little makeup with it. the way the bedroom was set up. I said, all right, they put some thought into that shit. But see
Yeah,
but see,
that's thematic of AJ. That a lot of
mm,
his, not to say that that's just like that, but
mm,
he's very into like I don't know, mystical and magical and
mm,
medical and all that shit. And so it's really
mm,
fun to create there. He my um that was it almost got into a zone. We were like there, you can see him definitely sweating by the end, but that was like
yeah.
40 minutes of writing.
And see, I'm gonna tell you what you benefit
No.
from. You benefiting from working with different. Okay, put it this way: you're benefiting from working with these different cats because what it's giving your site is really variety because you're not giving them the same type scene, which kind of really helps make you stand out even more because you're giving them not only a story, but you're not giving them the same story.
And I like that. I like that so much dynamic. I appreciate you kind of pointing out something that I haven't tried to be exactly like. There's Violet Blakk, but we can kind of play around with it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm can play characters. We can have fun. It's not like a singular personality. You know what I mean? An actor that always
Mm-hmm.
plays himself. Not even an actor, but like you know, how
Mm-hmm.
like if you see Kim Kardashian in a movie, she's Kim Kardashian. She's
Mm-hmm.
not Kim Kardashian playing somebody else. She's in a movie being Kim Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
And I not to knock that, and I just used her for recognizability. But I want Violet Blakk in a film to be either one, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the porn personality
Yeah,
or playing whomever you want me to play.
because I ain't even going front. This was back in the day. You had like 2 DVDs right about now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, because like I said, but see, that's um when it's the argument of the content creator versus the point. This is what people point to. You know what I'm saying? It's the artistry of it. You know, the thought of it, the imagination behind it, the execution of it.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
it's and also, and I always said this before, role play scenes can never get boring because you can always come with different roles. Straight fuck scenes will become boring because they'll become straight fuck scenes, different outfit, different dick.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. There's
period.
only so many different ways you can.
Yeah. So it's kind of like people want the story. It's like no matter what trend comes, they always come back to the porn star. That's all I got.
Mhm,
You know, period. It
mhm.
could be okay, amateur porn is banging, but amateur porn the amateurs decide they want to be porn stars. Because like I said,
Or, I mean, honestly, you're just seeing mainstream go on to amateur. You're seeing these
yeah,
major companies being on like many bits.
yeah. But see but see the reasoning for that is because once again,
You
amateurs
go where the audience
dictating the
is, right?
pros. Yeah, they
Yeah.
dictating the pros because how can I put it like this? I told people this is where ground zero hit when Vivid bought Kim Kardashian's sex tape. That's
Mhm.
what started this. I dare anyone to tell me different. Because it was an indication to the rest of these companies that big budget porn is in its last days. That people gonna
Mhm.
want this picture at the time shot with shot with just a camcorder. Now it's a cell phone. You feel me? So
Mhm.
but the reason why I say go back to the porn star because now I guess I'm standing out. Shit like what you're doing.
Mhm.
You know, period. Because it's kind of like at the end of the day, if you want people to spend money, you got to give them a reason to spend money. And that's where I think it's being lost. And that was cheaping the game, because look at the money that I tell people. I say people don't realize the money that people made a decade ago compared to now. There was no discounts. None of these sites discounted. Now all the sites discount. You know, that's why I say, look, imagine if all the subscribers that you had on OnlyFans, none of them got a discount. They got the full price. That's why I tell people, I'm like, and devaluation of the porn business, aka the porn star. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that have created major shifts in the industry. I think tube sites was one of the first massive shifts, and I think content creator led sites was the next massive shift.
Yeah, which, don't get it twisted, is great for enabled. How can I put this? It enabled people to be able to become porn producers and amateur or independent porn stars. But when it got ridiculous, when OnlyFans came into the picture, because it made it seem like everybody can do it.
Right.
You know,
well,
period.
I mean, I think an important and big part about just making what we do not something that has to remain so on the fringe and will end up being, you do adults, not being more interesting than like off-putting or alarming, it is kind of that mass exposure that happened, which was definitely at a detriment in a lot of ways, but it made it to where there was a universal truth that everybody watches porn. And then you got to start asking the question, like, then you could dig into it and be like, you do? Well, do you think those people should be paid for it? Do you think they should be paid for what do you think they're doing work? And then you, if you ask a series of questions in a certain way without trying to be an asshole, because then people just hate you, you can hopefully get somebody to, on their own, think about it in a different way. They're going to think about something in a different way. They think about you, but differently, or that differently, but they're going to think differently.
Yeah. It's like I said, it made it normalized to watch, but still not normalized to participate in. Even though everybody wants to participate.
Well, yeah. We operate in a cognitive dissonance, man. What we do and what we say are not the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because to me, it's
or
like,
that the actions don't make sense. I saw an awesome, I think I saw it on, I'm gonna forget whose, it might have been AJ's page, because I just recently put out our scenes. So so there was this comic that was like the guy's like, cake, oh my god, I love cake, and he's eating cake, and then you see this comic in the next frame come through, and he's a baker, and he's like, oh, you love cake? I'm a baker, I make cakes. And the guy in the next frame looks behind him and is like, people like you disgust me. And then the last frame, you can see him just looking confused, like you would. And then below that is like a ... If this was confusing to you, imagine how people that do sex work feel.
Thank you.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Because it's when being a porn star meant something. Like I said, when I look at you, I look at many ladies, especially ladies that I've been interviewing. Y'all embody what I grew up with. She was a sex symbol that could fuck her ass off and look sexy while doing it. Period. The professional looking pics. To play the part, you got to be the part. To play the part, you got to be the part. So it's kind of like that's why I say it feels good, and why I do this podcast, so people can understand this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it should be. Because even to the point, like, I was hearing a conversation about paid content, which I just found that just hilarious, the conversation on that. And it's just the different things that that was not before, which motherfuckers is trying to make a part of it now. you know, period. Because I'm sorry, when I heard these girls talk about paid content trade, I said, guys, first of all, because for the dummies that do that shit, you need your head examined, and you're probably a fuck boy. Two, for the females that go through that and think that that's how it's supposed to be, trust me, you ain't gonna get much work in this business, or shoots, or content from quality talent until you change that mentality. Because the only time I'm gonna ask you a question, Dan. No,
yeah. Oh no, I really want to talk about this. I don't think you. I don't think we're on the same page here.
Okay.
Well, in different answers, or
Hold on, before you say
let's
this,
see.
there's a caveat to paid content, but I'm gonna let you go. There's only a caveat where I would accept that, but go ahead.
Okay, so in an element of assessing value of a shoot, right? And why you want to shoot and how and why you'd want to shoot with somebody, or what your particular needs are at the time. So there might be a situation where you don't have time to have content. You can't sit on content. And this person really wants to work with you, but you're only taking paid. And so if you're only taking paid and they can't do your rate, they really need content. They want to have content. They're all right with you having content, but they understand that you're in a cash flow situation right now. And so it's a matter of negotiating to make the deal. So I haven't heard of paid trade situations where they're paying your full rate and giving you their content, unless they're giving you some different version of it. But it's usually at a, like, I would hear, I know it as fair paid or paid trade type of deal, where somebody's getting what half of their rate would be, and some negotiation of either all full raw cut of the scene or some other version of that, which again is negotiated by the two, but generally is in a position where somebody is looking to make a deal with the person where it normally wouldn't be advantageous. So like if I'm in a situation where I'm needing to reach kind of up or at a level, and somebody new just starting out really wants to shoot with you, doesn't have a lot of references, doesn't have a lot to go on, and you may not be in a situation where you have a whole lot of stuff put together either. A lot of the people that you've been working with are a little bit more established, and so you come in and they have all the stuff. So now you're both working with a cobbled set together. So to me, I think there's a lot of different ways of doing it, but there's an ethical and logical way about going about that, where I don't believe I'm taking advantage of the male creator, and they also don't believe they're being taken advantage of. And I don't think I've spun an incredible web of lies.
Okay. Fair. All right. Now with me, the caveat is this: you hit one. He's new. He ain't been in front of the camera at all. You're taking the risk. We don't know if we're gonna keep his dick hard. You feel what I'm saying? Even though y'all might be doing a POV, still. Okay, I can see that. All right, that's fuckboy shit. All right. The other caveat is if she's on the echelon that not, and it's called, how can I put this? What is it? What's the word? Vince McMahon said it best. What is this? Minimum, no, calculated risk. Now, let me explain to you what a calculated. All right. Now I've been
I'm
this
familiar.
business. Okay. I'm gonna explain it to my listeners. She might be drop dead gorgeous, bad, banging, actually big time porn star. Paid her for a scene the whole nine. She don't sell one.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I just shot some girls that I sat there and thought were gonna make money. They ain't hardly sold worth shit. The ones that I thought weren't gonna sell worth shit sold the best sometimes. Okay, let's just keep it 100.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
you're saying in plain words kind of the second thing I was alluding to. But yeah, about that,
Yeah.
the calculated risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so the calculated risk is one, I know that if I shoot with her, it's gonna make me money. I know I'm gonna see that money back. Shit, at least half. Quick. Plus, it might put me in a different circle. Meaning that it's also got to benefit me more than that damn scene. Let's keep it real. That's the only way I would do it. But
Right. That's it, exactly.
yeah. But the situation.
Only agree with part of negotiation.
But when it comes to some of the girls who are not on the high echelon, let's make this clear.
Yeah, there's some people that hear. There's some people that hear about that, and it sounds like a hustle, and they make it
one. And they try to, because see,
yeah, for sure, you could easy.
I mean, if you, you can find some dummies. I mean, that's fine if you want to do a hustle, but
yeah, it's just why would you? Like you said, if people really operating in it with that mentality and not the two that you were talking about, and really those were kind of the same two that I was really talking about.
Yeah. Now
so I think honestly we're on the same page. We just didn't kind of delve into it.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting to ask what with this. See, I set you up for this one.
Of course you did.
Would you do a paid content trade where you paid the talent, the male talent?
Yes. There is absolutely an echelon of male talent or somebody, especially if they have an entire production set up. Like I know it's somebody that has like, we are going to be on a great set because they have access to a great set with great production stuff because they have access to all that. And I'm going to also be able to own and sell the things that are utilizing their equipment that I don't have. I don't match that. We're not operating at the same levels. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what I'm paying for. And fuck yes, I would do that. As soon as that's part of my budget.
Now I'm going to tell you what's funny.
The same girls. Into the next echelon.
Many of the same girls. And I say 90% of the ones that sit here and talk about, yeah, I'd rather do a trade content or a content trade where you got to pay me this. If the roles are switched, they would say no. That's sad.
That's crazy to you. I mean, if I got somebody that's giving me all the production of like Disciples of Desire, but not actually that production scene that they're going to put on their site with all of their marketing that's guaranteeing all those sales, I'm going to just try to have to take that amazing fucking product and through what I have access to, make it make money for me. Then yeah, I owe them some compensation.
Because see, to me, the school of thought is this. If I pay you, I'm not giving up anything. And 9 out of 10, if I pay you, this how I used to do it. I pay you for a scene, we shoot a second scene for content trade. That's how I used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, period. It's just that other scene you don't get, but you walk away with the scene and you know, period.
Right.
That I used to do it. Or if she wants to do more than one extra scene, she at least got one paid scene. But you know what I'm saying? I can see that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
That's a great combination.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's more exposure to multiple audiences, cash flow immediately, as well as something that is going to gain you residual income. That's a win-win-win-win.
Yeah, because what people don't realize, the reason why producers paid, why the studios paid was, I don't have to worry about giving you residuals.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kidding?
Because trust me, they made more money off that scene. They paid your motherfucking ass.
Right. Like there's so many, I feel like almost legendary scenes that are well known if Like, imagine if from the Black scene. I'm gonna forget the female talent. I'm forgetting the female talent's name. Very like has a really young look. She's sitting cross-legged on the couch in a t-shirt. It's turned into a million memes on Twitter. And the guys are all standing looking at her on the couch. Like, if those guys got the residuals, kidding? Are you kidding? It'd be bananas.
See, so,
of course they're gonna pay that money. The cost of doing business, that's all.
Yeah, the cost of being the boss. So look, we got to wrap this up because I got one more show to do after you. But we got to get together because I got to bring you back so we can do a show for the subscribers, because the subscribers definitely want to hear you talk. And on the premium smoke room, that we can be more candid. That's where only people that pay the $4.99 get to hear us really, really, really talk and chop it up, uncensored.
Yeah,
fuck
you already hear how personal I get. Imagine if I did that about the sex stuff instead of just my personal life.
And see, yes, and she will be doing a premium smoke episode for real. It's coming, trust me. We're gonna book that. We're gonna get together and book that soon. But anyway, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on OnlyFans. I am at Violette Blakk. You can find me on many vids. I am Violette Blakk on there as well. One word name together, and Black is always 2 Ks, no C. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm Violette_Blakk. And if you want to keep track of the other elements that make up my personality, I have my linked and new page that is at the rest of Violette Blakk. So those are all the spots. More spots coming soon. Talk to me on Sex Panther. I do Sex Panther and StreamMate as well.
Oh, yes. And if you go to the LA area or Vegas area, book her for a shoot. Trust me, it's worth your time.
Thank you. Please
so
do.
People, you know how we always end this. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of experience? You didn't learn anything. Smoke this over. Thank you for coming back to the lounge. Can't wait to bring you back.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Goodbye.
Black Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right.